Huh?
You didn't do your intro.
I
I was waiting for the intro.
Man.
Huh?
I already did the intro.
Did I miss it?
Yeah. How you miss
You did the whole thing?
Yes.
You did the whole intro.
He did.
Yeah, I must have have a deep thought about something. I missed the whole thing.
He was buffering. He was still down. His Wi-Fi messed up.
Waiting. Now I can hear him talking the whole time. I didn't know I don't know. I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah. How you gonna miss the whole intro, man? Like you were literally looking right at the screen.
Nah, see, it's one of those things where you're looking at something, but you don't see exactly what you're looking at. All your thoughts are in your head, so you're not really looking at whatever's in front of you.
This guy, man.
I got this new podcasting table. I got like a cup holder and a tablet holder and all kinds of shit. So y'all know, taking this shit serious.
Well, I mean,
I wouldn't take it too seriously. B-Way will fire you in a week.
Oh boy.
Well, as long as you're doing what you need to do, you always got a job with B.
Like, I don't know what you guys are talking about right now.
People that don't feel the same.
Red, how was your week, man?
The week was long. It was long. So hopefully this week coming is a lot shorter. But it was good, It was probably long. It's always longer when you come back from a vacation. And you come back, you're like, you gotta go back to work. It always seems like a longer week. That's probably why.
I tell you what, I mean, to not step on anybody's social injustice issues, we gotta be better, man. Like we talked about Black Lives Matter, but we out here killing each other. It's in a bad place, man. Like Chicago had 104 murders over.
I want to be those guys, man. We always talk about Chicago every time something happens.
Well, I'm getting there. Hold on. New York had 65 this weekend. I think Atlanta had 85 shootings.
Yeah, but we can't assume they're all black on black crime either.
All right. I'm just saying.
You see the shooting and it happens in the hood, you automatically think black on black.
I don't care. I just don't like seeing people get shot, man. And then that's talking about. Yeah.
I agree. Period.
But anyway, Smart, how was your week, man?
Good, man. It was hot. It was a hot week to be working in the fire business, but
Captain Obvious.
It's hot. But besides that, I can't complain, man. Good week.
Your job is always hot, I would assume.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
worked on a couple of calls, nothing calls. Had to put that gear on. Had to change my drawers twice.
You packed extra drawers.
A little more info than we needed.
Oh yeah, when you work in the summertime, you gotta pack a couple pair of drawers, man. Run through them drawers.
More lieutenant now too. He be having the rookies help him change his drawers.
That's the weirdest thing I ever heard, man.
I've heard weirder.
Work in a climate controlled environment, B. Let's go.
Yeah.
Talking too much.
All right, man. Let's get to it, man.
I always want to get down to business so quick. Like you mess up the flow of the podcast, man.
I feel like people who are watching don't really care about what we did this week.
That's not true. People care. I always get a text message after the fact, like, "Oh, you on vacation this week?" Always.
So, what do you guys think about Desean Jackson's comments here, man? Was he out of bounds? Was he right?
Should we fill him in what he said?
He is. Well, before we say something, we probably should read his exact quote.
I don't think we should read the exact quote, but I'll paraphrase it.
Why shouldn't you read the exact quote?
Because I feel like we're giving it promotion it doesn't need.
Well, we're talking about it. Can't get any more promotion than that.
You want to read the whole quote? I was going to paraphrase it.
It's a small quote.
Well, he said a couple things. There was a couple tweets.
Yeah, but give him the Louis Farrakhan thing don't need to be talked about. I'm talking about the Hitler quote.
Well, it wasn't even from Hitler. Well, go ahead. Well, you want to read? Go ahead, Brandon, read it.
I would love to read it, but I'm not sitting in front of it.
All right. Well, basically, the quote was it was attributed to Hitler, but it wasn't really from Hitler. But to paraphrase it, he basically said that, blacks are the real children of God, not the Jews. But he said some other stuff around it that was considered anti-Semitic.
Because they were attributed to Hitler.
Yeah, and then he posted a Farrakhan speech from July in Chicago, where he said that Dr. Fauci and Bill Gates were trying to use the vaccine for the coronavirus to depopulate the earth.
Yeah, but that wasn't the big issue. The big issue was the quote that he used that was attributed to Hitler, and which is understandable. Anytime you promote any words from a terrorist that murdered 1 million people just because he felt like it, I think it's going to get a bad reaction. But I don't think he meant the way they were the way people took the comments. I think I want to be careful here because you don't want to say certain things that offend people again. So I think when I read it, when I looked at it, I read it a bunch of times. I read it several times to kind of figure out what he exactly meant. And I think it was more geared towards African Americans than he was putting down another entire culture and race. He was kind of talking to black people about what they need to notice and what they need to see and what they need to understand. But like I said, anytime you use some words that are familiar to anyone named Adolf Hitler, it's going to get a bad reaction from people.
Well, I read it one time and I was like, he messed up. For one, it's not even a true quote. If you're going to quote something like that that's going to be that controversial, make sure you have your facts right. And that's not a Hitler quote.
It wasn't he didn't write it himself. It was something he was reading.
But you can't retweet something that's that false. It wasn't a Hitler quote. It's attributed to a book that somebody wrote about Hitler, and it's not even used as a quote.
Yeah, but he took a picture of the words. He didn't.
I know, but it wasn't factual. Some say it's from the Black Israelites, but either way, it's not a Hitler quote. Two, you can't quote anything that Hitler said. If the President of the United States made a quote said, everybody love your mom, quote, David Duke, you're going to be mad. You can't.
Our president retweets a lot of stuff that's not true.
I'm just saying, anybody with power quotes anything. I don't care how positive it is. If the guy is somebody like Hitler, David Duke, you just don't use it as somebody you're going to quote from. I don't care what the message is.
I mean, I think it was. I don't think he did it in poor taste. I don't think he meant it the way it was, the way people took it. And originally, I said, "Oh, it was blown out of proportion." But I think if the same comments were made by a white player towards black people, I'd feel a little differently. So I have to be kind of sensitive to that other community as well and how they feel. And I don't think he thought that way either. I don't think he thought he was going to offend anybody, or I don't think he would have quoted that or tweeted it out. But anytime you're going to use like something that he used, like the anti-Semitic language, this guy built a museum off of the people he killed and how he did it. It's always going to be a sensitive thing.
He should have knew a Hitler. I don't care what the post says. You can't post it.
Yeah, you can't deliver anything from Hitler. I mean, that's just in general. It was in poor taste, and he obviously didn't do his research because the quote wasn't true. But I don't know, man. People are killing the guy. I think he was just misunderstood. I think he was misinformed. And I think he just wasn't,
But do you feel like, see, when we're like, again, we're not coming on here and bashing them, and we're kind of like the way I'm talking and the way what B-Way's comment, like we're kind of giving him a pass almost to an extent, but we didn't give that same pass to Drew Brees.
Well, I feel
Drew Brees, just all he stated was his opinion on something. He didn't even.
Brees though is Drew Brees been making these comments for about 4 or 5 years now. It finally came to a head when he brought him up again in the middle of the protest. But Drew Brees ain't taking no flack no more. He ain't get fined. He ain't losing no games.
Well, he got killed those first 3 days.
And he's
absolutely killed.
Rightfully so. But
yeah, I killed Drew Brees. You're right.
Go ahead, B.
No, he's right. He's right. We got to kill Desean.
No, because
what I'm saying is, like I said, we're being Samar's neutral in the fact, like, I'm an Eagle fan, B-Way's an Eagle fan, so, but I'm also a Desean Jackson fan, and even though I don't agree with him, I am kind of sort of giving him a pass on it. Like, I'm not killing him, and I'm saying I think he was misunderstood in a sense, but when Drew Brees said what he said, it was murder's row with us.
I feel like
it was a bad time too for Drew, man. Drew spoke up at a bad time. Everybody was really emotional. I was, at least.
But what I tell you, B, when Drew put his statement out, I thought it was a really well-written statement. But two, I'm not of the belief that a guy should give his career up for one lapse of judgment. Desean did something a lot of leaders haven't been doing in this country, and he came out immediately with a heartfelt apology, not written, his own face, his own words, and he's going to the Holocaust Museum with Julian Edelman. He wants to educate himself. So I'm not gonna kill his career for something he did dumb. He didn't write. It was dumb to retweet it.
No, I don't think we're killing his career, though. I think what I'm saying.
I didn't
think Drew Brees should have been suspended or fined or anything like that. I just felt like his personal opinion played a factor on how I personally feel about him now. Desean Jackson, I feel like I don't feel any personal way about him after those comments. I still feel the same way about him.
Well, one, because Desean was trying to defend your race in his own way, whether it was wrong or right.
Yeah, but
he was attacking people in your race.
Drew Brees was somewhat trying to defend his race by attacking another one, sort of. It's the same thing Desean Jackson did.
Well, Drew Brees was talking about the military, not his race.
We know he was talking about his race. Anytime those comments come, anytime something like that is said, we automatically think this guy, well, maybe he's pro-white. No one ever says stuff like that. Like being like, he's not a racist. He's just being pro-white. Like, I'm not a racist, or B-Way would say, I'm not a racist. I'm just pro-black.
I was concerned about his the Fauci and Bill Gates thing. I feel like you're spreading propaganda, and I think Fauci's on the right side of this thing, and you're just gonna. I don't know.
That's just your opinion, though. Desean feels differently. He has a different opinion than you.
So he's just gonna say that the Dr. Fauci's Thanos now. He's just trying to wipe out half the population.
You could say Dr. Fauci is like Jesus. It would be your opinion. What makes him wrong? What makes you right?
I'm not saying I'm right or he's wrong. I'm saying he should keep that opinion to himself.
But you don't have to keep yours to yourself?
You're spreading something out there like it's fact, and there's no facts behind it.
There's no fact that he's doing great things either. It's an opinion-based thing.
That is not opinion-based. This guy's a leading expert on viruses in the world since the 90s.
So, back to your point about being pro-white. Can you be pro-white without being racist?
It's the same question you have to ask yourself about being pro-black.
Go ahead, B. That's your field.
Well, I was thinking about it when Red said it. You know, like, being pro-black means I'm cheering for everybody black. I don't know if that means I'm not against anybody white. I'm not cheering, like, I'm not putting anybody white down or any other race down, but you want to see yours win. And that's just because from where we came from and the stuff we had to endure over, centuries of time. But what did they have? I don't know. Like, I don't think it's not wrong for them to be pro-white if we could be pro-black.
I differ from B-Way, and it's funny we had this conversation last night watching the UFC fights because it sounds like a cliche, but I just don't really see the color. I just see people, and that's how I grew up.
You don't see color?
I really don't, though. Like, we're watching the fight last night, and I'm going for that.
I asked that question to ask that. If you don't see color, how do you know when to stop and go at red lights and traffic lights?
Don't take it too literally. I don't see the race of people as a factor. I see people, good people, bad people. So we're watching the fights last night, and I'm saying, well, I'm leaning towards Jorge. B-Way don't even watch it. He's like, I'm going for Usman. And he's like, because he's black.
Usman from Nigeria.
I know, but he's like, I don't know. He's nothing either about. I'm like, well, one guy's an underdog, came from the street fighting. Like, he's easy to root for. He's like, nah.
Jorge he was only under. I think if they had the same amount of camp time, Jorge wouldn't have been the underdog. It would have been really, really close.
No, I'm saying as a person, from where he came from, street fighting.
No, I know what you're saying.
It's a guy that was like, yo, that guy made it. He was fighting in backyards a couple years ago.
Well, I look at it like this. So, how offended would you be? You're in a restaurant. Say you're in a soul food restaurant, black-owned business. A white family walks in to get something to eat, but they notice it's a black-owned business, and they say, I only want to support white-owned businesses, and walks out. Because essentially, being a black person, right now, we walked into a place and it was a white-owned place, and we said, we just want to support everything black. So you walk back out. You may not be looked at any differently.
Don't put that on. I don't think like that.
I'm not saying you. I'm asking the question. I'm asking if a white family walks into a soul food restaurant and says, we want to kind of only support our own community, which means you want to support white only, so you walk back out, they leave. Are you offended by that?
I think it's in bad taste.
That's what I say when I'm asking, is it okay to be pro-white because it's okay to be pro-black?
They have every right to be that way. I'm asking, can they be that way and not be racist? Yes. That's my.
Yeah, I don't want to go right to racist. I told you that before. That's the worst thing you can call somebody. One of the worst.
You're the same guy that don't see color though. You're about to be one of. I'm about to call you Karen or somebody. Like I gotta get you a podcast nickname now.
Look, Big. You've made some comments before. I'm not gonna put them out there. I'm just saying, if I have two candidates, we've been fighting for this since our grandfathers. This one equality, and you're saying you're just picking somebody solely based on their race. How you think it's right for you but not right for other people? I don't understand that kind of logic. I want to go into an interview and be picked by being the best candidate regardless of race. You're saying I'm going everything black. I'm taking the black guy. That's not fair.
Because it don't have to be. We weren't done fair forever. Nothing we had to ever endure was fair. So why should we be the guys trying to be fair now? Why black people are the most forgiving people in the world? Because we always want to turn the other cheek. Let's pray for them. Let's do this. Let's do that. No, they didn't do that. They stepped on us. They hung us. They spit on us. Why do we have to be the ones to say, let's make it fair? No, forget that.
I'm not saying let's make it fair. I tell you this every week, and privately, all conversations, be the change that you want to see. I can't preach this thing I want to see from everybody, from people, and keep going against what I'm preaching. We all say equality. If you want equality, that means for everybody.
No.
I'm not picking anything somebody's race. Nothing. I'm not doing that. I want the best.
A lot of times it has to deal with life experiences as well, though. So if someone's never experienced racism from an opposite race, they're less likely to feel certain ways about another race, regardless of what their ancestors went through. So if you have a black guy that's always been around white people, has never been disrespected by any of them, never been looked at any differently, he's probably going to assume that it doesn't exist. His life experience with other races doesn't allow him to think that way.
I don't think a lot of black guys go through life that way.
There's a lot of, I know some that have went through life and think this way.
Look, I don't.
Samar, you're somewhat that way.
I'm not that way.
Not to say that you haven't experienced racism. What I'm saying is you have a lot of friends that are of opposite race, and they don't look at you any differently. They don't treat you any differently. So to you, they're good in your book.
That has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I have plenty of experience. I can go through a whole list of times I felt like I
just said that.
So I don't understand what you're saying.
There's a way, of thinking. I probably need therapy because, I still get enraged and mad when I think back to what was done to our ancestors, to what was done during slavery, to what was done during the civil rights movement. like when I think about it and I get in my thoughts, like I get enraged, I get mad, I take it personal. I don't know if that's a bad thing, but that stems up a lot of my thoughts probably. Like I'm not okay with that. Like I always say this to my class. Like a lot of great people died just so you can be able to sit in our classroom today and be able to learn in a regular school that is somewhat integrated. A lot of great people died for this, and you're taking it like for granted. So that kind of stuff is what infuriates me and just gets my thoughts going and get me going. So that's why I take things so, passionately.
Yeah, but those people died for a cause, and we're still. Do you want to be still fighting the exact same reason they died for 20 years from now, or you want to start moving forward? It's going to take a little effort from both sides. You don't think so?
Yeah, I do. But
angry.
But I only see effort done on our part.
That's not true, though. We had just talked. 50% of the people protesting downtown Lancaster were white.
Now it's 2020. It's 2020. Like we're going on 70 years from the civil rights movement. What about those? What about the last 70 years?
B, I just said, you said you want to see progress. You said you only see it on one side. I'm telling you that's not the case, because you go downtown, which you weren't downtown, majority of the protesters were white. There's a lot of white people in those protests.
Now, I get it, what you just said. I wasn't downtown because of health reasons. But
yeah, I'm not attacking you. I'm just saying I've seen it like all over the country. This cause made it big because white people started joining in with us.
I fully agree, but it's 2020, and now we're like, okay, this is going. Like people lived lifetimes and didn't have to deal with like this. Look, we're going off.
Your last comment was that you don't see nobody else making an effort, just black people. That's not true.
No, I said we have been the only people that's been trying to make effort. Trying to make an effort.
And I'm telling you, that's not the case right now. At least you don't see
right now. Right now, you said that, yes. But what about the past 70 years?
Well, I'm trying to move forward, B. What do you want to do? You want to live in the last 70 years? Or you want to move forward?
I just told you I'm enraged. I take it personal. Like, okay, yes, you want to throw us a bone. It's always something, though. It's always, let's integrate schools. Yeah, but let's teach you how to do everything the white man does. We're going to throw away all your history. We're going to tell you Christopher Columbus was great. We're going to tell you this. We're going to tell you that. We're going to tell you July 4th is America's birthday. Like, all this stuff that they're teaching us is stuff they wanted us to learn to maneuver their way. Not once did they ever say, hey, let's learn this black culture.
But no, it's not going to happen overnight. I think we've all realized that. But we're seeing some change. Like, we're finally starting to erase some of the Confederate history, and people are understanding that we're celebrating people who try to defect, people that lost the war to try to fight against this country, and we're trying to fly their flag. People are understanding that now. It's going to take some time, but we're starting to move forward, I feel like.
I agree. Now we're in the best place we've ever been in. But I still get mad about.
I don't want to keep talking about 70 years ago. We're trying to move forward.
Yeah, but.
Don't forget your history because you're doing to repeat it. But we're trying to get to a place of true equality.
I don't want it to be one-sided. We're fighting a fight that we've been fighting for years, and now we're going to throw them credit because they joined in. They should have been joined in. I'm not giving you credit.
No, that's not. Because, B, you're thinking about it the wrong way. There's a lot of people that are the opposite race that have been fighting for years for it. I don't want to say a few. There's a lot of bad.
Brandon, you're muted.
Yeah, you got muted.
There's a lot of bad apples. It seemed like they've been fighting against us this whole time. But there are people that have been fighting for African Americans for years.
I agree with that.
Decades.
I agree with that.
Years.
But there's been more people that's been fighting against us.
And I think a lot of it has been heightened over the last 3.5 years, if you see where I'm going with that.
I know where you're going with it. It's no secret.
He has over the last 3.5 years, there's been a lot of divisive rhetoric.
Yeah.
And so a lot of it it's being pinpointed and pointed out a lot more because of that.
I get it. Like, we want change. We want, things are finally looking up. We want to be the change that we want to see. But, like, we're still so far behind. Like, our history books have to change. School names have to change. Court have to change. We got, like, Kentucky's named Rupp Arena. Come on, man. Like, stuff like that has to we can't keep celebrating racists.
I think we're coming to a point now. We're starting to realize that we're changing names on stadiums. They removed the statue outside of Washington Redskins. We're changing Abraham School. They took plantation off of Rockford Plantation at County Park this week. We're pulling down Confederate statues.
They went too far with the syrup bottle, though.
I don't think so.
I do.
There goes Trump. There's no such thing as going too far, man.
They went too far with the syrup bottle.
Not at all.
Well, Ben's going too. The rice.
Yeah, they went too far.
Did you know that Aunt Jemima was owned by Pepsi?
I found that out when they wanted to get rid of the face. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I always been a Coke guy anyway.
This guy, man.
Next topic.
Since we touched on it, let's go to the Redskins. How do you guys feel about that name and Daniel Snyder finally? Well, he's not finally doing anything. They took money from him, so now he has to change the name.
Always follow the money. It was it's overdue. I mean, I'm a belief that of the one person rule for the most part. If one person is highly offended by it, then it's probably got to go. And there's a lot of Native Americans or indigenous people that really dislike the term. So, I mean, if you had somebody calling like the Cleveland Caucasians, you shouldn't name teams after a race or a people, I don't feel like. If you want to go Washington Warriors and celebrate the history of a tribe, like the Seminoles down in Florida State, I don't have a problem with that. But to call a team or a derogatory name for a people because of the color of their skin, I don't know how it survived this long.
Go ahead, Red.
I mean, I don't have a whole lot of thoughts on it. I honestly, not even going to sit here and lie. I just really don't care that much. And probably because it doesn't do anything, like it doesn't offend me.
It should.
Whether the name stays, it doesn't offend me. Whether they get rid of it, doesn't offend me. Like I honestly just don't care about it. Like huh?
Can you see the hypocrisy in that, where you're saying that we want
I understand if someone's offended, then it's necessary to change. That
no, I'm saying you're saying you don't care because it don't offend you. But say we just talked about the whole conversation about, say, a white guy don't care about black issues.
Right.
You can't. I don't know how you can have that mentality one way, not the other.
My mentality towards the Redskin name, like, had they been called the Washington N-words, like, obviously, yes, it'd be a whole thing. That would have been changed. But I think me thinking about it just at home, I don't see it as being disrespectful. But if someone's offended by it, then I think it was necessary.
You can't say that.
It's my personal opinion. I don't mean to offend anyone. I'm just saying. You're asking me how. You said, "Hey, Ray, go ahead," and I'm just like, honestly,
I'm gonna throw you some bail here.
I do not give it any thought. And again, that could be my problem. I could be part of the problem in this country. I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't think about it, and it wasn't offensive to me. But if one person is offended, then yeah, go ahead, have at it.
I'm gonna throw you some bail here and go to comments.
Go ahead,
Jasmine Bernardo, appreciate you watching. She said, I don't think we will see the change that we need to see in our generation. I think we need to make sure that we instill truths and educate our children and so on and so on. We have to show them how to connect come together and make a plan to form our own independence.
But don't you think
that's not true? I hate to for
don't, don't you think that our parents? Don't you think our parents probably said the same thing? I may not see it in our generation, but I want to make it better for my kids. We can't keep on passing that along.
Yeah,
well, it's better for us than for our parents. You can't deny that.
Huh?
It's definitely better for us than it was for our parents.
It absolutely is. But that shouldn't be the end goal. Should be we shouldn't even have that thought. Like we shouldn't have to even have that thought. Like I may not see the change I want to see in my lifetime, but in the next lifetime, we got to kind of like we live in the now. So I think it's a little important that we stop having that thought process. Like, now we need to do this. We need to make this change happen ASAP.
I could be naive, but I do believe this. I'm hoping that Jordan's not going through this, my son, 20 years from now. I'm hoping it's much better. Not even 20 years from now. I'm hoping by the time he gets to high school that he's not dealing with this in a high school where he's going to be a big-time minority.
I think that we're taking baby steps in the right direction, but it's baby steps.
I thought Martin Luther King walking was baby steps. So how long we gonna take baby steps? I'm just saying, how long we gonna fast? Huh?
There's no change that happens fast.
Yeah, but
it works.
Maybe we need to start demanding something, some change.
That helps.
So,
more comment?
Yeah, but they've been talking about what we've been talking about, so I don't really know where they said to what they were talking about when they were talking. We do have Mr. Philip York on. He says, hi, Brandon. Probably talking to Red.
My guy, Phil.
Taquan Wright says, indoctrination. Talking about when we were talking about our race issues. Alan Massenberg said, I need that ish B is smoking.
What's big?
I'm hoping he's talking about Red. But
I don't know why he talked about me. That's my guy.
You're wrong about the Redskins though, man. Like, that's a terrible. So if they walked around and called them the Washington Blackskins, you would be offended, right?
Or blackface.
Honestly, I'm honest. See, don't take me there.
No, I'll take you there. Because if it was blackface, I'm offended. Are you not offended?
Probably not.
Yeah.
See, that's why I said we'll talk about it.
That's why you're the Donald Trump of Sports Talk podcast.
And why? I think a lot of because the one thing I feel about the Washington Redskins, that's the thing with you, V. You have one different opinion than you, and you are completely right. Like, so you're so far left that if I disagree one time with you, and this is a lot of people, though, not just you, B, but you're one of them, that if you disagree with them one time on the left side, they push you so far right. And it's like, no, he's not just neutral. No, he is Donald Trump.
I would say this. I'm not going with B-Way does that a lot. I don't agree with that point of it. I ain't gonna say you're whatever you are for that opinion, but I would say that, like Desean Jackson, that you should educate yourself on what the minstrel shows were with blackface, and you should educate yourself more on what the Native Americans went through being slaughtered when they were the Redskins, and I think you would feel differently.
I completely educated about it. I just said I said if you're asking my personal opinion about how I feel about it, I'm not necessarily offended.
I don't think you should have said that you're educated about what blackface was and say you're okay with it.
I just said
that's the wrong side to be on.
Okay with it. I said I didn't care.
Didn't
care. That's what I said. You guys are saying I'm okay with it, like I support it, and you guys aren't listening clearly because I never said that. I'm just telling you, is it something that I'm going to think about after this podcast is over? No. That's what I mean by that. That I just really don't care.
So if you saw three of your coworkers dancing with blackface on.
No, I don't want y'all to throw me no bell. If you feel like I'm wrong, that's fine. I'm cool with y'all thinking I'm wrong. I'm cool with you thinking I'm so far right on this, B, and that's fine. But you guys, I think, are misinterpreting what I'm saying because I never said anything about, oh, I agree with it. I'm telling you that I just don't really care. I don't want no bail. Don't try to bail me out. Don't
cut out.
I want them to hear what I'm saying.
Nah, I'm just trying to say, I think he was trying to just say that you weren't educated on it to try to throw you some bail.
Oh.
But
I wasn't going to sit here and let him say that and be wrong. Like, no, I am educated on it, and I still just don't care.
God.
I think you did yourself a service by saying you were educated on it and still have that stance. I don't understand it. But you have a right to your opinion.
That's
I'm not
fine.
going to say
it's a different opinion. You guys be so stuck in your opinions that you think it is actual facts. And I get that because it is opinionated facts. I understand.
I just said I don't understand. I didn't say you were wrong for it. I just don't understand it.
I'm going to say you're wrong. I'm saying he's wrong.
You guys can say, how can you?
Hold on, man. Hold on.
With not caring about something, not just not caring. Not that I said I agree with it. I said if one person, listen to what I said. I said if one person is offended, then it should be changed. What else more do you guys want from me?
You said you don't care though, personally.
Personally, but I said if one person is offended, then it should be changed. I
So
did
I'm
say
saying
that at the very beginning. I said if one person is offended, it should be changed. But if you're asking my personal stance on it, I just don't think about it. It's not something that I think about. That's all I said.
All I'm saying is if 3 of your coworkers or 3 of your coaches got caught on video doing blackface, making fun of black culture, you would be okay with that?
If one person's offended, they should get rid of them. All of them.
Your coworker.
Doesn't matter what you're talking about me personally. I'm telling you, if one person is offended, get rid of them.
But how would you feel personally? I'm asking you a question.
Doesn't matter. Clearly, I can't feel a personal way about anything because you're going to push me so far right. I can't have a personal feeling.
I'm not pushing you. I'm asking
Brandon Rudolph a question about how he would feel. Different than either one of you guys got an issue automatically.
I'm not attacking
I'm wrong.
you.
Right away, I'm wrong.
I'm asking you a direct question.
You guys didn't even listen or care about what I exactly said. All you see, he don't care. He should care a little more. How can you tell me what my level of care should be?
I'm not telling you. I'm asking you a question. You won't answer it.
Next topic.
Exactly.
Alan Massenberg said, Red is my guy, but you're wrong with the Redskins situation.
I get it. That's his opinion. I understand it. I said if one person offended, I'm a Redskin. Dude, like I'm Redskinned it.
But you ain't part of the tribe, man. All right, man. We'll move forward because you obviously are on some BS here.
Pat Mahomes.
Again, I'm on BS because I just don't really care about something like that. I'm sorry. I want to apologize on behalf of Opinionated Facts for my statement.
You literally just said that if they had a team named the Washington Blackfaces, you wouldn't care. That's where I think you're tripping.
Dumb. That was a dumb question. It was a stupid-ass question. I didn't want to spend no time on it.
Well, it was a dumber answer.
It was not. It was no answer to it.
All right. Move forward, man. Move forward. You're all right.
Again, I got to be on the right side, B, because I disagree with you.
We going with the bubble, or we going Patty Mahomes? What we got?
Let's go something light with the bubble.
No, let's do whatever Samar wants to do. Because if I disagree, it's going to be hell to pay.
I don't understand Brandon's logic right now. He's like all over the place. Now he's mad at me. He was mad at you.
How was I all over the place? How was I? We stayed on topic the entire time we were talking about it.
I didn't say I was mad at you about your statement.
Where was I at?
I don't understand it.
How was I all over the place? I stayed on the Redskin issue. You're the one who took it to blackface and this and that. Nah, I stayed with the Redskin. If the Redskin thing is the issue, that's what we're supposed to stay on.
Verbatim, blackface. Well, you don't want to hear my opinion on that. You said that. And we said, go ahead, give it.
Because I knew how you guys were going to react to it. And it's exactly how you guys are reacting to it right now.
I said we're moving forward, man. Move forward. That's on you. You
can't disagree with you guys, man. You guys feel like every time you have an opinion about something, it's actual facts.
All I said was give a right to your opinion. I asked you a question.
Look, I'm not scared to disagree with anything. If I don't agree with you, you're going to know I don't agree.
Scared, get a dog. You just sound like an idiot.
How? Because I don't agree with you?
It ain't about me. It's about the.
And that's what you do. When Samar thinks he's so right, then the other person's an idiot. Like, that's what you always go to. It's every time, though, not just me. It's anybody you ever get into it with, it's always, oh, that person's an idiot. How? Because their opinion's different than yours?
I asked you a question.
I
You
don't
never even answered.
understand your logic. You don't understand my logic. I don't understand your logic. If you don't agree with me, you're an idiot. How does that make sense? Why even go to the name calling? It's just, hey, we're just having a conversation.
You came back to the subject like we were attacking you. I asked you one question.
So,
you want
so what? I'm an idiot now because I came back to the topic?
You still haven't answered the question.
I'm just asking for a friend. I'm just asking for a friend.
I feel like you got caught something you shouldn't have got caught in. Now you got to attack us.
Caught what? I still stand by my statement. I haven't changed once. I'm asking you, why am I an idiot? Because I disagree with something you agree on.
It wasn't just me. It's a lot of people that are going to disagree with you.
Well, it's 3 of us on here. And that's what I'm talking to you. I ain't talking to everybody. I'm asking about you.
And I asked you a simple question.
It's
and you
first time I said something like this. I don't know if I've ever been called an idiot for it either.
Will you answer the question for the people?
I'm far from an idiot, by the way.
All right. We should move on.
I've been trying to move on. I'll let you guys know.
Jesus keeps talking.
We're moving on, man. J.R. Smith tweeted out some he Instagram lived himself on Instagram with his meals, with his cover, and just talking about the displeasure that he might have with some of the stuff that's going on in the bubble and how the room looks. And a bunch of players actually tweeted out some other stuff too. The millionaires in the bubble. What do you guys think about it right now? Are they going through it? Are they spoiled?
No, they're all idiots.
I feel like you're seeing what happens when you put millionaires in places that are built for middle-class families. And it's kind of insensitive. They're making themselves look bad in a way. You're staying at a luxury resort that most of us had to save up all year to go to and enjoy. And you're downplaying it like you're living in the slums. I don't think it looks good for them personally.
The one guy compared it to the Motel 6.
You know what, though? You know what? Ray John Rondo has always been a diva since he was at Kentucky. The guy's always been a bad apple.
It ain't him. It's JR. It's a lot of people.
No, but Ray John's the one that said about the Motel 6 thing. That's why I said what I said.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he did say that. But there was there was dozens of players that made comments online.
And I get it. I've seen the food, and it did look disgusting. Well, I mean, I get it. And to them, they've been coming from their $1 million houses, eating filet mignon, and now they got a flank. So I understand what the issue could be there. But they are extremely insensitive, especially Ray John. As soon as I seen it, I was like, I've never liked that guy. Like he's always been a jerk. Since he's been in Kentucky, he's a locker room killer.
You just coming at the man. That's our point guard.
I got a little Samara in me.
People love Ray John. His teammates love him though. Bulls loved him when he was in Chicago.
I know a lot of people that didn't like him, especially in Boston. People
that didn't played against him hated him, but his teammates seemed to always like him.
Not in his own coach didn't like him in Boston.
Doc Rivers said he was the smartest person he ever been around. That's a quote.
He said he was the smartest person. Samar, you're a smart person, but right now I don't like you that much.
Doc Rivers, I'm just saying.
I understand what Doc means by he's a smart dude. You're not going to lie. But
Doc said it was easy having him as a point guard. I never heard Doc say nothing negative about him. Ray, it seems like Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce like him.
Well, a lot of people hated those guys. The only likable on that team, KG and Paul Pierce.
Well, back to the
classic with your team. The Bulls love them in Chicago. I know that for a fact.
I know.
Back to the original statement. Are these guys going to make it? Like some of these guys got to be there till October.
No. I don't think some of them are making it. Honestly.
Like, will it get to the point where you're down 3-2 in the playoffs, and you get to the point where, man, look, I just want to go home. I don't care about this game. Let's lose.
No, never that.
No. And for one, you're comparing the food to the 48-day quarantine. They had to stay in their rooms. They're going to get much better food, but they can go to the cafeterias and eat. They had to lock down for 48 hours, so they got to get food delivered to their room.
Yeah, well, and J.R. Smith did he was talking about he was reading off the menu, and the menu sounded good when he was reading it off. You know, they had shrimp and grits and filet mignon.
I told you,
Patrick Beverly seemed to be enjoying himself. Like I feel like he was happy. It was like I really felt like, and I hate Patrick Beverly as a player, but that dude was like the most grateful person that actually made a video.
He's locked in right now.
DeMar Carroll got on the line and did a whole video. It was like, I don't know what these guys are talking about. I came from this place. These are great conditions. People were complaining about the TV size. They were showing the rooms. I'm like, that looks nice to me.
Oh my God! When J.R. Smith was showing his room, and Ray John showed his room, I'm like, it looked like a suite to me. That looked like the king, the one king suite.
You got one person in that room, no family, no nothing. You got one person, huge bed, all these amenities. Like, what are you complaining about? We're in the middle of a pandemic. Millions of people out of work, millions of people jobless, on unemployment, and you're complaining about your filet mignon delivered to your room and your luxury room that most people can't afford to go to.
Nah, J.R. was complaining about the junk food that they were getting as snacks, and they had to eat that, so like Doritos and cupcakes, stuff like that. He said, you know, I shouldn't be having to fuel up on stuff like this. Like, I think he thought it should have been more like grapes and fruit type stuff, and it wasn't. It was like cupcakes and Doritos.
To the bar in the room and dumped it down on the counter. You ain't got to eat that shit. I'm sure you can get room service. They wanted more food.
My fault. I was reading the text, but these guys were complaining about living in 4-star hotels, yo.
Yo, you're gonna lose me soon, man. My phone's dying. I ain't got no charger either.
Well, I'm just
like, there, man. The biggest problem with the bubble was, I already told you both, is going to be no women for a month.
I think the women are coming, man.
Oh yeah, but they're not supposed to be there.
We watched that fight last night, and they had unnecessary ring girls there, walking around, holding the ring cards, showing them to nobody. There's no fans.
It's an event built for television, B. It's an event built for television.
The sole purpose to be there is to have fun with the guys. And I'll just
you call them fun time girls? That's disrespectful, man. Somebody's daughter.
Yes, it is. And she probably just pay a lot of money to do that. But there's no purpose for a ring girl showing a ring card to nobody in the stands. There's nobody there.
Television. Two, they do the press conferences, they do the weigh-ins. They're at more than just carrying the cards around during in between rounds.
Hey, come on now. There's better ways they could show the what round you're on TV. They could flash, use different graphics. They could use a lot of different things. Them ring girls are there solely for entertainment value, and it ain't the TV people's entertainment I'm talking about. I think the same thing will be going on in the NBA. Watch, we're going to see unnecessary girls on the court doing dumb stuff, maybe cheering, maybe doing something.
There ain't no NBA cheerleaders, B.
Look, listen, I don't know what they're going to be doing, but they're going to be there.
First of all, there ain't no environment on God's green earth that ain't better with females around. It's just the facts. It's just fact. You go somewhere, there's all guys there. You're like, this ain't fun.
There's no place on earth.
You need to have the opposite sex just for an atmosphere.
Look, listen. I'm just trying to say that there's going to be girls in the bubble. I don't know how many. There's going to be bubble babies in about 9 months.
That's terrible, man.
I guarantee you that. Moving forward. Patty Mahomes. Change the game? Change the game or stupid?
Somewhere in between the two.
I got changing the game.
Well, the contract wasn't like a game changer, really. He got 18.7% of the cap, was the same thing Brett Favre got in his 10-year deal. He's only going to get 2.8 next year. I mean, this coming season. So for the next 2 years, he's cap friendly. They can still sign players. It's basically a year-to-year deal.
You're going to commit 10 years somewhere?
It's a year-to-year deal after the third year, basically.
So they can part ways either way.
Most of his contract comes in roster bonuses every year. So by the third day of the league year, he would get almost all his money for that year. So if you cut him that year, you don't have to spend the money. And the incentives are the same for every year, all 10 years. So he'll get 1.25 if he wins the Super Bowl or goes to the Super Bowl, and 1.25 if he's MVP that year. So he's not going to get the whole $503 million because that's no way you're going to win 10 straight Super Bowls and 10 MVPs.
So he's not getting $500 million.
Nah, there's no way. It's not possible for him to get it. Unless you believe he's going to win 10 straight Super Bowls, 10 straight MVPs.
Would you think he's going to be the same player? Like, what would make, I don't know, it hasn't been done before. So a 10 years from now, quarterback is not going to be the same quarterback as he is now.
Well, 10 years ago from the day, the highest paid quarterback in the NFL was Peyton Manning at $14.7 a year. Now the highest paid quarterback in the league is Russell Wilson at 38. So look at that jump. I think it's a bad deal for Mahomes in that realm. But the Eagles signed McNabb to a 10-year deal in 2002.
I think Michael Vick signed one too, didn't he?
Yeah, I think Vick got one. Well, I don't think Vick had a 10, did he?
I thought it was 10 for Vick.
I'm sorry. Vick
Yeah,
didn't get 10. McNabb was 12 years in 2002.
Yeah.
He has the longest contract in NFL history.
None of them made it 10 years.
No. I mean, Mahomes won't either. Either he'll get cut and redo his deal, or they'll cut him.
So why sign it then?
Because you do it because he gets long-term financial stability, and you make your salary cap. You make all the money bonuses. You can still keep him without breaking the bank.
Why would you? Well, changing the fact. What does that mean for Dak? How does this work? What's Jerry Jones going to do now?
I think they're stuck in the same place they were. Dak's been pretty famous saying he don't want a 10-year deal. He wants the 3 to 4 so he can get out and get another contract, which is what a lot of players. Kirk Cousins did it with the 3-year deal. But I mean, Dak has what? So a couple more days, 3 days to figure out what he's going to do?
Yeah, this is the week. This is the week he has to.
He helped or hurt Dak. It sets the market a little bit, but I don't think he was going to get more than Russell Wilson anyway. So
he wanted to be in that realm of things. In that realm of things.
Yeah, so starting in 2022, I think Mahomes is going to be 45 a year, pretty much for the rest of his contract, up to the 55. So that sets the market where you can't get more than Mahomes. I mean, he's almost undisputed the best quarterback in the NFL.
It's early. You thought you're going to say that already?
I've never really seen a player in any sport, besides you go back to Michael Jordan, where there's no argument about who the best is. I've never heard nobody say it's somebody over Mahomes.
That's debatable, man. Like he came into the perfect situation. That helped him out.
You starting the team today, who are you taking?
How many years we playing?
You're starting a team today.
If it's one season, I want Aaron Rodgers.
You be the first. I love Aaron. I think Aaron's the best quarterback I ever seen in my own 2 eyes, but I'm taking Mahomes.
If it's one season, I'm going Aaron Rodgers. If we're talking about for the next 10 years, then yeah, I see you going. I see Patrick Mahomes.
Next 3 years. Any year. Today, tomorrow, 2 years from now, I'm taking Pat. And I hate the Chiefs.
No way. If you give me 3 years, I still may take Aaron Rodgers.
You wouldn't take Aaron Rodgers over Pat Mahomes in real football, fantasy football, pickup football, nothing right now.
Well, Nah, not right now. All I'm saying is if you put, I'm not trying to talk bad about Patrick Mahomes here because I do think he's good. But if you put a pretty decent quarterback in his seat right now, they'll be just as good. If not, well, they'll be just as good. They can't be better, but they'll be just as good. If you put Aaron Rodgers on the Chiefs right now with those weapons, they'll be just as good. If you put Tom Brady on the Chiefs right now,
no disrespect though. Tom Brady don't have no.
I'm sorry. You don't like Tom Brady for some reason.
I don't dislike Tom. I think Tom's the greatest quarterback of all time with everything added up. But the last 2 years as a quarterback, pound for pound, he hasn't been that good.
Disrespect is real. The guy won his division last year playing with nobodies.
With literally the number one ranked easiest schedule in the NFL. And he looked terrible, man. He looked terrible. He can't throw the deep ball no more. All he does is check down.
You would look. Nobody could catch the ball. You can't.
Hear these speeches about wideouts.
Listen.
Quarterbacks make wideouts. Aaron Rodgers didn't have nobody. Then he turned Devontae Adams into a good receiver.
Yeah, Devontae Adams is a good receiver.
He was like a first-round pick.
You can't say he turned him in like that. He's legit.
Elderman catches 1,000 balls every year, damn near.
And drops 300. And he drops 300.
Oh, my God. Here we go. Now he drops 300.
He
didn't look good for throwing the ball downfield.
All I'm saying is if you put Tom Brady around those weapons, he'll be just as good. If you put Aaron Rodgers around those weapons, they'll be just as good. Like,
first of all, Brady can't move like Mahomes. So, first of all, that takes a aspect out your game. He doesn't throw well in the run like Mahomes.
You don't have to.
You see the plays he made improvised last 2 seasons? Brady don't make those plays.
You won't have to because it's mental with Brady. Brady's going to know where the ball's going before the ball snaps.
No, but when you have a Tyreek Hill who makes plays with his speed and you can run all the way to your left or right and throw a ball 70 yards in the air, Tom Brady's not doing that.
Listen, you're being disrespectful. I'm not taking anything away from Patty Mahomes. And what I'm saying is he wouldn't be Patrick Mahomes if he was in New England. He wouldn't be Patrick Mahomes if he was anywhere else.
Anybody can say that. They had Alex Smith there that year before Mahomes came in.
And he had a great year.
They were good, but he wasn't Super Bowl good.
He didn't have those weapons either.
He had Tyreek Hill, didn't he? He had Travis Kelce.
Patrick Mahomes has the fastest team in the league.
It don't matter if you can't get the ball to him with accuracy, downfield, under pressure, on the move, across your body.
All I'm saying is that maybe he's a little overrated. Time will tell. Take the weapons away.
If he's a little overrated, you take it away, he's still won.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is, man.
Let's go throw that around there, man. You're crazy.
I like Aaron Rodgers, second. But
we're moving forward, man. We got to get out of here soon.
We didn't touch on you want to get to the local COVID stuff?
Yes. Now, with the recent COVID stuff that's going around here, high schools are starting to pick up their sports schedules again. And is it the right thing to do? Like this is a big debate right now. Is it worth it with high school players and being around each other, and it's hard to social distance when you're working out and you're training? And we see some people, in New Jersey push their season back to October, I think it is. Virginia is pushing theirs back. Pennsylvania took a stance of, well, look, we're going to wait until, August 5th to really make a decision. But right now, we're full steam ahead. Is it the right thing to do?
I feel like you got a plan, like you're going to go forward. You just can't cancel it now. So I understand why people are getting schedules together, getting all that stuff in order, because you kind of have to. But you also got to have a contingency plan if things don't go through. And I think that's what all the major conferences are doing in college. Like the Pac-12 commissioner said that they went to an all-conference schedule because it'd be easier for schedule changes if something does happen. Or with Southern California and Arizona putting back up restrictions, you're not going to be allowed to have games there anyway. So you got to be prepared for both sides of it. If you're going to play, you got to be prepared. If you don't play, then it's a little easier to just cancel.
But here in Pennsylvania, they didn't even make a decision on what we're doing for schools yet. And we're saying that we can play football or sports in the fall. Like, it makes no sense to the point where you don't know if you're going to be able to go to school and be in a classroom every day, but they want you to social distance on the field. Like we had Lampeter Strasburg recently, school in Lancaster. They just had to pause workout because one of their coaches, got sick. What do you think? Like, that could happen. And then what? Your season shut down for 14 days? That's 2 games you're missing. If that.
I agree with the Adam Silver approach. If you're going to say you're going to cancel the season with a couple positive tests, and you can't have the season, don't even have it. Because the law of averages says that it's going to happen. So you got to have a contingency plan. The head coach go down, assistant coach steps up. But if you're going to cancel for 5 positive tests, then you don't even have the season.
Is that where we're at with COVID right now? Like, is it like, oh, everybody's going to get it. Let's just keep going forward. Like, I don't seem like people's taking it serious.
No, I'm saying that you can't say you're going to have, 400 players together for all the LL, and if somebody gets it, you're going to cancel because it's the averages say somebody's going to get it.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I just don't know if it's worth it. But
do you think there's any chance, being in both fields, the coaching side of it and the teacher side of it, if there's no school, is football definitely canceled?
I don't see how we can say that we're going to be cyber school and still have fall sports.
I don't see how they could do it either. I just want to have some inside knowledge, maybe.
No, I know where we're at teaching-wise. They didn't make a decision yet, and they're sending out a whole bunch of surveys. But parents were 90% in that they wanted their kids back in school at the start of the school year.
Well, there's no way you can open up the economy with the schools closed because, a high majority of essential workers, their daycare or their child care is the school system. They can't go to work if the kids are at home.
Yeah, so it's coming down to, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Like, what's more important, the economy or people's health? And that's been the big debate from the jump with this thing. Like, if you look at it, when they close when they close the schools down, the numbers are worse now. So I don't know.
Well, I think that's a skewed stat just because of the weather was going on in May, March, April. People weren't out gathering. I mean, everybody's out gathering now, cookouts, whatever, holidays.
That's the thing. Like, if you start schools, like, everybody's saying start schools, like all the government. And okay, we say let's start schools. My question is, how's it going to look? Like, what is this thing going to look like? And that's the question nobody has an answer to. Are we going full days? Are we going half and half? How are we going to get all these kids in one classroom? Like, how's this thing going to look? Everybody wants to say start school, start school, start school. How are we going to look? Or what if that teacher, I posted this on our Facebook the other day. What if that teacher leaves for COVID-like symptoms? Or what if one of the students get in there? Are you going to be the substitute teacher that has to go in there after that? And
yeah, I think it's people are saying go to schools, kids aren't that vulnerable, but the teachers are the ones that will be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Teachers are, I don't know how what the median age is anymore, but I remember when I was in school, there was 40, late 40s, 50s.
Yeah, I just don't see how school's supposed to look right now with the whole COVID thing. So people that say keep going to school, put a plan together and let us see how this thing's gonna look before you just send people in there.
I've seen some models where they have the the desks are 6 feet apart. Kids eat lunch in the classrooms. One kid to a seat on a bus. It all sounds good, but can you really implement it? I don't know how you can. Schools have been overcrowded for over a decade now with 30 kids in the classroom. How are you going to put that's 6 feet apart?
Can you imagine, like, the bus budget's going to double? Like, I know where I teach at, we're a walking district, but the bus schedule and the bus cost still doubled because of what's going on, and they can't have 2 people to a seat. So it's going to be nuts.
I don't see it. Only way you can even do that, you're going to have to raise taxes in the middle of a pandemic. People are already struggling financially. I just don't see how they can justify raising the taxes and putting one kid to a seat with the bus. I don't know. It's not really possible to do the things that the CDC or WHO want to do for classrooms for the average municipality.
But then we're going to play football. I just don't see it. How you going to do that? Like 3 buses to a game?
I don't know. Like I said, if there's no school, you can't have football. You can't put that importance over education. It doesn't look good any way you look at it. I hope there is school. Personally, I hope there is football unless things get really out of control. I do think kids need outlets. I think sports is good for kids in general.
But you just don't see how it's happening.
Well, I don't think you can do it if school's out.
Yeah,
but I just get my son ain't getting a better education at home with us. He needs to be in the school.
I agree. I just don't know how. But we gotta go, man, because we're way over an hour. And
we missed a lot of topics.
We still didn't get to a lot of stuff we wanted to get to. We
lost
ain't way
friends,
over.
his phone died.
Yeah, he didn't come prepared. we got to dock his pay.
Well, you know what he says. You know, you're the boss. Don't fire my brother, big.
I don't fire people, man. Shout outs, man. You got any shout outs?
Shout outs. No, man. Shout outs to no one. But looking forward to our vacation this week. Me and you out of here for a few days.
Vacation should be nice. Hopefully you don't jump in no pools and do anything all crazy.
You need to get something classic to happen. I just don't know what it is, but I'll let the time take me where it takes me.
We gotta get some girls on here because we gotta get a survey question of, are couple vacations better than single vacations? Single relationship vacation.
You gonna do Opinionated Facts Podcast?
we gotta get that poll question up.
It depends what you mean. Two couples going together or by yourself?
2 couples going together or by yourself.
Oh, couples. It's not even close. If you have at least one other couple there, it greatly increases the vacation. You both have time to get away from each other if you need to. They can do girl talk. You can do guy talk. They can go do their tanning, whatever they want to do.
Most girls don't go on vacation to get away from their partner. They want to be with their partner.
No, I'm not saying get away, but I don't care who you are or how good your relationship is. 5 straight days or 7 straight days with one person by yourself, you're going to argue about something. It's unavoidable.
I might not disagree, but I think girls would. That's why we need the survey question. That's why we need girls.
I need some opinions on this, because I think you ain't going to ask any man that's going to disagree with that.
We're going to get some girls in the next show, and we're going to talk about it, man. We gotta hear this.
Like, you can talk audience about so much. You can talk to each other 24 hours a day for 7 straight days. Just you two. No other people with no input. No conversation.
Yes, people do. Girls want to go on vacation to be with their man. Nobody else.
I think it's going to be a unanimous across the board for both. You cannot say it's not better having another couple there with you.
We're going to get to it next week, man. We got to break this topic down.
Any comments from other people?
No. Well, Sean Camacho said Samar's hurt. Just feelings. I don't know what he's talking about in that frame. No, that's about it. But we're getting out of here, man. I'm gonna shout out Tanisha Cook for the shirts. Salute to her. Make sure you follow her on Facebook. She makes different shirts, different masks, whatever you need done, personalize it, go to her. She'll definitely make it official because these shirts came out official. Shout out to 7 Letter Family as always. Shout out to everybody that watched. Make sure you keep following us on all the social media platforms. And I think that's it, man. I don't have anything else. I said the 7 Letter Family already. I think we're good. Shout out to Red too, man, for leaving early, man. You know, got to talk to that guy.
What? No, stay laid up, stay prayed up.
Oh wait, he's coming back. He's coming back.
Oh, Brandon's back.
Yeah.
We must have go another half hour then.
Trying to go another half hour, man.
We didn't get Brandon's opinion on some topics, man. He had opinions on the Mahomes contract.
Where's he at, man?
I'm back. My bad. My phone died, bro.
You're back.
Yeah, we need your opinion on Mahomes. We had some topics we needed your opinion on.
Yeah, had to plug my phone in still, you know.
I'm not trying to start no shit, but B-Way said you're getting fired, probably. At least suspended.
Not at all, man. We out of here, man. We're leaving.
Hold on.
No,
Why not?
I just up and randomly just quit.
Quit what?
Where's your picture at, yo?
My picture where I chill out, dog. You know what I mean? Why you want to see me so crazy, this guy?
Yo, how you feel about Pat Mahomes' contract? We didn't get your opinion on it. B-Way trying to get out of here, he said, though. I'm trying to keep us another half an hour.
Yeah, man, we got things to do. I'm a busy man.
It was good to see him get paid. I'm always for a young brother getting paid. But my issue with the contract is that he still had 2 years left. Granted, he may be the best quarterback ever. Or he could be a guy that just having a good run right now. And 3 years from now, he may not be so great. He may be on that Colin Kaepernick type run. Colin was very good for probably, 3 years, 4 years?
He was never what Mahomes was.
He was dominant. But he was still dominant. Went to Super Bowl. Almost, you look at it, it's almost the same type of passer taking stuff Pat Mahomes won the Super Bowl. And I don't know, people were hailing him the greatest quarterback ever. He's been in the league he's been a starter for 2 years.
All right, so on this, I'll get your opinion on this because his extension don't start for 2 years. So he's only getting $5 million this year and then $25 next year.
Right.
It's only guaranteed. Basically, after the 3rd year, it's a year-to-year contract. If they cut him, they don't get penalized no money. So it's a year-to-year contract after year 3. He's getting $140 million guaranteed over those years. So they didn't really spend a lot of money compared to what they could have cost him. And then he goes to $45 million a year.
If he gets out of the contract in 6 years, or they can get out of the contract in 6 years, then maybe it's a win for them.
They can get out in 3. They can get out in 3 years.
He's still getting $140 million even if he pays those 3 years. It don't matter. He gets hit. If he gets hurt next year, he's still getting $140 million. If his career ends tomorrow with a life-altering injury, he gets paid $140 million.
Yeah, but they had to give him that. I mean, Carson Wentz and Derek Carr got those kind of money. But I'm saying after the third year of that contract, they can cut him with no penalty. He's getting that guarantee money no matter what. He got $63.8 million for signing on last week.
Is he worth $45 million a year?
So what?
Is he worth $45 million a year?
Yes. So his cap right now, his cap hit is 18.7%, which is the same percent that Brett Favre was when he signed a 10-year deal back then. So he's not taking a huge cap hit.
Brett Favre's 10-year contract was like $110 million.
I'm saying, but the cap was much smaller.
Yeah.
He's only 18% of the cap. The cap goes up every year. They gave Donovan McNabb a 12-year deal in 2002.
Yeah, it was like a $125 million contract.
Yeah, but you got to think about what the cap was. So the highest paid quarterback 10 years ago was Peyton Manning, 14.7. Now the highest paid quarterback right now is Russell Wilson at 38. So it goes up significantly over time.
I mean, it's good for Dak Prescott.
How?
Because Mahomes just set another market for quarterbacks.
Dak was never going to set the market, though. So now that he's never going to get more than Russell or Mahomes.
If he has another year like he had this past year, I think he sees Russell Wilson money. I don't think he's worth it. But if he has that same kind of year, how could you not pay him?
I agree. But he has to sign a deal. He's going to sign one in the next 3 days, I think.
I think it's about the 15th.
Yeah, so if he don't get a deal by the 15th, he can't sign a deal this year. He has to play under the franchise tag.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have no issue with Mahomes. I don't have a real issue with it. I think it's a steep price to pay for a 2-year starter. Regardless of how you break it down, even $140 million guaranteed if he gets injured or whatever, it's still a lot for a guy that's been in the league or start in 2 years. Granted, he had a run. Well, Russell Wilson did the same thing. That's why he's getting paid now. He won his second year in the league, won Super Bowl. So, I mean, yeah, you get compensated for winning, obviously.
What did Wentz get? 128? What was his guarantee?
Yeah, 128 after incentive, I think, something like that.
So if you're going to give Wentz 128, how can you say he's a big deal to give 140 guaranteed to Pat?
Well, Wentz's deal's not guaranteed.
No, he got a good.
If Wentz gets injured and he's done, it's not a guaranteed $128 million contract.
What was his guarantee? 70, 80 million?
I thought it was 60, but then the signing bonus gave him like some crazy number. I don't know the exact numbers on that.
B, how long we going, B? I got more.
Did you guys talk about the back of the jerseys in the NBA?
No, we hit that as the last topic, B?
Go ahead, man.
I'll read it all. So the NBA is going to go with optional slogans on the back of the jersey for the first 4 games. 285 out of the 350 players chose to pick a slogan or eligible. 17 opted out. LeBron was one of them. So, what do you think as far as
I mean, it's like it's your preference. You want to wear your own name, or do you want to wear something that you wanted to wear and not have a list? So the NBA broke it down to put it in a list format. So they sent out this list that had all the things that they could put on the back of their jersey. LeBron's issue with that was he had something in mind that he wanted to put on the back of his jersey, and it wasn't on the list. And he said he was quite all right with it, but because he couldn't put what he wanted, he decided just to go with his last name, like Owen. I understand it.
They asked him on the press conference if he was going to wear one. He said no. He said, but I didn't have no input on the list, and I had some things in mind I might have wanted to put on mine, but it wasn't one of the options. And he
Yeah,
says
well, the other day when he had the press call, that's what he said. That it wasn't what he wanted wasn't on the list, and he said he's perfectly fine with it.
Did you guys hear the list?
I did.
No.
Well, I'll give you a quick rundown of most of them. So it's Black Lives Matter, say the names, vote, I can't breathe, justice, peace, equality, freedom, enough, power to the people, justice now, say her name, yes we can, it's in Spanish though, see us, hear us, speak up, how many more, and speak up.
And shout out to Kyle Korver, man, for putting on Black Lives Matter on the back of his jersey.
Yeah. Kyle said in that same press conference that he cares more about these issues right now with equality and Black Lives Movement than he does about winning the championship.
Good for him. That's what you need.
How would you feel if you were the coach of that team? Would you still about that statement? Would you be okay with it?
I feel like I think a lot of players feel that way, but won't say it like publicly. But I mean, some things are bigger than sports, man. Like these are real lives. These are real people dying. So I understand what he means by that. Like I don't care about winning a championship when there's people out there getting their life taken for nothing. That's a whole different ballgame. These guys get paid millions of dollars.
What do you think about? Should the NBA have even done this at all? You think, or is it?
The first thing with Kyle Korver, I think things are bigger than basketball, and that's bigger than basketball. So I'm 100% fine with him saying that. You know, he cares about that more than winning a championship. NBA going this route, I don't think you should have a list if you're going to do it. Just have them put whatever they want on there, and you know, police it as long as it's not inappropriate. Don't have a list for something. You know, people want to choose like LeBron. He wanted to choose for something that wasn't on the list. So if you're going to do it, do it. Don't try to police it and just be dumb about it. It's like the NFL with just, we're going to let you play a full football game, but you can't exchange jerseys afterwards. Like, it's just dumb. Like, some of this stuff is just stupid. Either do it all the way or don't do it at all.
Would you wear a quote if you were playing, both of you guys?
I would.
Yeah, I probably would too.
What would you pick?
I'll put Breonna Taylor's name on there until her.
Not on the list.
I know. I'm just saying, if I could pick anything, I would go with her name until. That's what I'm talking about. Like, if we're gonna do it, do it.
But they do have say her name, I think.
Yeah, that's not good enough.
Well, what would you pick off? So would you wear something off the list then, or would you just go away on the back?
I don't know. I'll probably pick something off the list.
What would you do, Brandon?
I'd probably take something off the list. I wouldn't do it because I felt like I'd rather they allow me to do my own thing. Like, I wanted to put something, let me do what I want. Don't give me a list. But I probably still would. I don't know. I think I would go with enough.
Enough?
Yeah.
What would you pick? Or would you? You ain't going with nothing.
Nah, I would wear something. But it's funny because I watched LeBron's press conference. He had a hat on that said "more than an athlete." I would probably want that in the back of mine. But it wasn't an option.
That's probably what he wanted.
He didn't say that, but that's what his hat said. That's what I would want to go with because I feel like you get into this thing with basically the shut up and dribble where they feel like, oh, you're just a basketball player, shut up, just play ball. Like, no, I'm educated, I'm more than an athlete. So I like that slogan. But out of the options, I probably would have went with I Can't Breathe.
Yeah, not a bad one. I don't know. They pick some real, user friendly things that won't,
won't offend their political connects.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, nah, I'm not okay with that. Though.
Yeah, but think about it. I don't think any other league other than majors would let this happen. I can't see NFL, MLB, NHL doing it. I know some soccer teams did it, MLS.
Yeah.
On the same topic, you see the WNBA owner for the Dream saying that she didn't want none of this.
Yeah, she's like a senator, ain't she? A senator.
She's also in politics too, so you can't.
Yeah, she's.
I get it. I get it. I don't agree with what she said because the thing is, a lot of the money she's making are off of some of those black players, but she's also in politics. So it's like maybe she's choosing her politics over that.
She's a minority owner. They said she has no controlling ability, but
yeah, but still, she makes money off of it.
Does she got to go?
Nah, I'm not saying she got to go. I'm just not. I mean, I don't want to support her. So I don't know how we would go about that.
I mean, did Donald Sterling have to go?
Nah, that's totally different.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, but that's totally different.
She got to go. She got to go.
You said she got to go?
I'm never for someone losing their job for having a different opinion. So I don't know.
She's not gonna lose her job. She got to sell, though. I'm saying she's still gonna make money.
Y'all gonna say Dabo can stay, but she got to go?
What Dabo do?
Yeah, I don't.
Dabo allowed someone else to say a certain word? I mean,
that's 10 times worse than this girl saying she don't want the Black Lives Matter movement.
Nah, when I read the quote in the context in which it was used, I completely understood why the coach did what he did and said what he said. I think it was in poor taste, but I also am a coach that has approached things that way. I can get away with it, though, because I'm the complexion for protection when it comes to that.
Well, why are you blaming Dabo for something somebody else said? Do you want to fire him for something? That's his mistake?
Nothing was done about it. Yes. Hold your coach accountable.
Yeah, I think he said they had they talked about it when it first happened. What are you supposed to do? Suspend them? Like what's the end goal there?
Fire him. It's not hard. It's simple.
You don't fire a guy for for using
the N-word?
Accidentally using something in a teachable moment. He was trying to teach the kid something.
We had this like 45 minutes already on here.
Yeah, man. We're not doing this, man. We're an hour and a half into this thing. We're not doing this right now, but y'all tripping.
I'm saying she got to go because the league is 85%, I think, 88% black, and you just went against her whole movement. I just don't see. You can have your stance. She shouldn't be fired. I'm saying she's the owner. She sells her team. She gets her portion of the money back. But I think she doesn't really fit in the cause. All her employees are black.
Yeah, they want all her constituents are probably white.
Yeah, she can go back to her constituents then. You ain't got to be owner of a basketball team.
Yeah, but I'm saying her being a senator or whatever she is, that's her actual job.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's
so like,
she got to talk to her.
She chose her job over her maybe business. You want to say? I guess I don't know.
I feel like when it's all said and done, she'll be on the wrong side of history on it. But so what? I'm just saying, for a minority owner of that franchise, where your team is that team, I think is what 90% black. The league is 85% black, and they had this cause. You're like 100% against it. Why don't you just sell and get out of there?
I don't know. But I gotta go, man. I got things to do.
We gotta go. We've been on here for an hour and a half, man.
Y'all.
You're right. Well, I say we. I talk about the show in general. We've been on for an hour and a half. You know, I don't individualize us. We're in this together.
Anyway, man, shout out to my uncle. Shout out to my uncle, man. My uncle shut it down yesterday.
Hold on, man. You just ain't gonna cut me off like that. Now, go ahead and give your shout out.
Man, shout out to my uncle, man. My uncle shut it down at his birthday party yesterday, man. Got engaged. Crazy. It was a surprise to everyone, a shock to some. But he did. The ring was crazy. So I'll shout out my uncle quick. Shout out to Kyle Korver for the name going on the back of his jersey. think that's all I got today.
Well, good timing, man. We already gave our shout outs.
Oh, good. I'm leaving. I'll holler.
All right.
We're out of here, man. Make sure you stay laid up, stay prayed up, stay out the way, and listen to what some old folks have to say. See you guys next week. Peace. Opinionated Facts is brought to you by the Right Way Home Care, where they are committed to providing high-quality, client-centered, and affordable home care. They also offer personal care, respite care, light housekeeping, medication reminder, and a personal care. If you need any more information on the Right Way Home Care, make sure you reach out to them at www.therightwayhomecare.org. Again, that is www.therightwayhomecare.org.